Is the executive director of the Texas Public Policy Foundation and joins us now. Robert, what do you make of this situation?
Well, good morning. Actions certainly speak louder than words. Katie Hobbs won't debate, but Arizona voters should look at the actions of her campaigning with Eric Holder, the former attorney general whose Fast and Furious gun program, as you said, was responsible for the murder of Arizona Border Patrol agent Brian Terry. Mr. Terry would have been 52 years old this year, died 12 years ago when the gun that the Obama administration allowed to be sold to cartel henchmen was used in the murder of Mr. Terry, who died in the line of duty.
Fox News Power Rankings has the gubernatorial race between Katie Hobbs and Kari Lake as a toss-up. What is your sense of the race? And also Blake Masters versus Mark Kelly.
I think that the race is trending for the Republicans in both elections, simply for the point that Arizona voters are mad about the border crisis. They're mad about the economy. They're mad about the fact that Americans keep dying in the Biden border crisis. You look this year, Texas National Guard Specialist Bishop Evans drowned while trying to save two men who turned out to be cartel drug smugglers. And it's not just our law enforcement who's dying, like Mr. Terry, like Mr. Evans. You also have Americans who are being killed every day by the illegal drugs that are being flooded across our open southern borders.
Yeah, well, you mentioned drug smugglers, and Border Patrol agents in your neck of the woods, Texas, just stopped over 2,000 pounds of meth at the border, which have a street value of over $18 million. We see headlines like this all the time. And the Biden administration has pointed to them and said, well, that's a good thing. It proves that our border policies are working. To that, you say what?
It's not. Look, you've had 4 times as much fentanyl that's been seized by the Border Patrol, over 14,000 pounds, 4 times as much as what was seized in 2020. You know, that 2,000 pounds of meth that you just mentioned, that's only a fraction of the 160,000 pounds of methamphetamine that's been seized by our law enforcement coming across the southern border. It's not a good sign when we're being overwhelmed with the drugs that are being brought in by cartels and smugglers, and it just shows how out of control this crisis has gotten, how much the Biden administration is to blame for the illegal drugs in our community, and how really voters have a choice tomorrow to do something about it.
They do, and if Republicans are able to flip some of those House seats, especially along the southern border, it'll be really interesting to see the Biden administration's response to that, and if they do finally tighten up some of their border policies as a result. Robert, got to leave it there. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.